Morning, sir. Hello.
Very good morning. Very good morning.
Yes, sir. Uh, sir, myself, Dr. Ashwin Patel. I'm heartily welcome to you in Parul University web series in Department of Commerce, Faculty of Commerce, Parul Institute of Commerce, sir. Before we focus on our today's webinar title is use of Excel in a research. And today's our resource person is Dr. Suresh P. Machar, sir, who is assistant professor in PG department of the business study, Sardar Patel University. When we talk about it, the education's qualification of the sir is BE, MBA, MCom. Sir also passed successfully complete his UGC NET examinations and PhD also in Sardar Patel University. Total experience in academic field, sir have 13-year experience in academic, then more than 21 paper published in reputed UGC care listed journals, research paper publications in reputed journals. Sir have also so many research papers write and chapters in a book also write that size of is more than 15. Sir also published two book. One title of the book is Secretarial Practice, and the second one is The Changing Footprints of the Business. uh, sir Sir presented so many papers in various national and international seminars and conference. And sir have also completed a funded project report. And sir also awarded with the best research paper 4 times. Sir awarded as an best research paper award in a different institutes. Then right now under the guidance of PhD, sir have 4 students. One students already awarded as an PhD, and the two students are already awarded as an MPhil. Sir have a sir have also complete the two research project in Ministry of Rural Development, and the second one is also same in Ministry of the Rural Development. Attend the so many session as an orientation and refresher courses. Sir also invited so many different reputed institute for the as an guest lecture. So once again, sir, heartily welcome to you in Faculty of Commerce, Department of the Commerce, Parlo Institute of the Commerce, on behalf of the university and our dean, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Ashwin sir, for a detailed introduction. I am very honored, and it is my great privilege to talk with these such intelligent students of your university, the students from our university also, and the some of the faculty members from your universities. I am very thankful to maybe Parul University and the Department of Commerce of Parul University to give me a chance to speak with the academic fraternity of today's generation. And I am very thankful to Sardar Patel University also to give me this 1 hour spare to deliver my expert lecture to the student of Parul University. So thank you, Ashwin sir. Now, as we are going to be discussing, focus on today's webinar, that is what the use of Excel in research. So before we are going to be discussing that, I am going to be presenting my screen over here. My PPT is visible to all of you?
Yes, sir. Sir, it's visible.
Okay, thank you very much. So before we are going to be maybe discussing about that, the one question arises in the in the mind of the commerce students also and the other students also, that why we need to at least having the knowledge of the Excel and the computers uh, as a whole. Because what happened that when we are talked about the computers and the maybe ICT based technology, and if we are saying that it is useful for the arts and commerce students, they are saying that, sir, there are the various apps were available in which we can inputting our data and get the results. Or what happened that when you are going to using that apps, even so many ready-made uh, softwares were available where you are just inputting the data and you can got your results of your research or maybe the data analysis part. But what happened that when you are going to be presenting that data, at the time you are not knowing that how this output is came, and the explanation of that output or the interpretation part of that output maybe you are not knowing, and what is the use of that output, how you are going to be writing that interpretation in your report. At the time we are going to be little bit confused. So for this matter we have to what at least know that how our data is going to be processing in the maybe as we are knowing that one of the basic tools that we are having in our all the computers that we are at our home, the laptops with us, or maybe the mobile, we are using simple data analysis using the Excel itself. Then the other softwares were there, as we are knowing that in social sciences, in the 90% cases, we are using the SPSS, statistical package for social science, and still we are using in most of the data analysis part, we are using that kind of software. But as we are knowing that in SPSS also, or the other kinds of research tools that we are using like JABS, Jamovi, in this all kind of this Jamovi and JABS are the as we are knowing that it is the open source software. But for that, at least you have to feed the data into the particular software. You have to require to make the database, and as we are knowing that we are making our database in what the Excel only. So if you are knowing Excel well, if you are inputting your all your data depending upon your requirement and depending upon the software that they are going to be demanded, that in which sequence or in which type your data is going to be fed. If your input is correct in Excel, then maybe 98% maybe software, statistical softwares were available into the market, which is supported by the Excel itself. You can export your Excel data into SPSS also, Jamovi also, and JABS software also. So at least you are knowing that okay, how we can feed our data into the Excel sheet. The other thing is that why Excel is very important, because the basic research part, now the output that we are going to be discussed to the common public, that output you can generate it with the use of Excel only. You need not to require any kind of the highly sophisticated tool for that. So you can use the Excel, input your data into the Excel. If you are knowing some of the functions of the Excel, if you are knowing some of the tools given in the Excel, then you can generate it, your report in well manner without using any sophisticated software itself. So with this background, I'm going to be started today's webinar. As we are knowing that Steve Jobs said that everybody in this country should learn to program a computer because it teaches you how to think. When we are going to be, why it is very much important, because uh, today's in today's world, the each and every input we have to require, it is what the output that we are going to be required, it is a single touch away. The apps were available, the programs were available in which we are only inputting our data and the outputs will come. But at the time, the human behavior, or as a human, when we want to analyze something, that how this output is came, at the time our mind is going to be very confused. So at least for to sharpen your mind itself, you have to know that how this process is going to be happening, how your output is came, and how the computer is going to be processed during the converting your input into the output parts. So this is what the presentation flow. As Ashwin sir said me that there are the most of the students are, or the today's webinars are especially for the students of the post graduation students of commerce or other PG students from the same fraternity. So looking that audience, I have to design my today's webinar presentation. First, we are starting with the data input part using the form. Then data analysis using some of the basic functions that we are going to be use of macros, data analysis using data analysis toolpack if time permits, and the question and answering. Now that is what one sheet is available with me. Now I want to first, what we are trying to do is that when you are going to be inputting anything in the Excel itself, we are knowing that this part is with from A to Z, or the part from A B C D is we call as in the column heading, and there are the number of rows were there. So at the combination of rows and column at where we are going to be inputting our data. But normally what we are trying to do is that some operation that we are basically known that we are using the control C and control V for copy and pasting our data. When we are going to be inputting our data, we are using what? We are simply write the column heading on the first row, and then we are going to be inputting our data manually. So first shortcut methods that we are going to be discussing today is what, that rather than doing copy and pasting, like if I want to make one of the copy of this file into the another sheet. So what we are in normal condition, what we are doing is that we are pressing Control C on sheet 2 and we are pasting Control V. So when we are going to be pasting into the another sheet, the formatting is going to be changed from in both the files. Though the data remain the same, but the format of the sheet is going to be changed. So what we have to do is that one of the very useful tools given in the Excel is that rather than using copy and pasting option in the Excel, what we have to do is that you have to make the copy of this. How we can do it that? On the example sheet, you have to just right click on that particular part, then click on move or copy part. Just click on move or copy and make one mirror copy of this. Create copy and click on OK part. Now this is what happened there. This is our first sheet. And the copy and pasted sheet is this one. Without using Control C and Control V, we are making a mirror copy of this, our main sheet. Now, the data sheet that I am having is with a very less data. But if you are knowing that now we are having 10,47,576 rows were there, and more than 16,000 column were there, column heading were there. If you are having this much of bigger data with you, how you are going to be using the copy and paste options? So the most important trick that we are using in the Excel is what? Rather than using Control C and Control V in Excel, use move or copy option. So it cannot change any kind of data that you are fed into your mirror sheet. So this is what the first part. Now the second part. Now we want to what? I'm going to be delete this input data. Now we want to input something. Now, in normal condition, what we are trying to do is that we are just writing this type, press tab, and we are typing something. Likewise. But this is a very maybe the time consuming activities were there. And in this, you have to constantly focus on rows and column wise, that in which row you are going to be feeding your data, on which column you are inputting the data. If something is going to be mismatched, then your whole data input is going to be wrong. So one of the easiest trick to input your data into the Excel is what? The form. Now, how we are going to be creating that form? If you are knowing the coding part, then you can use very easily. You can create the form in the Excel itself, because Excel is supporting to the VB uh, .NET, and with the use of VB.NET, you can use preparing the Excel sheet where there, Excel form, like a dashboard that we are going to be creating. So, but the ready-made forms were available into the Excel itself. Now, how we are going to be inserting that? In normal condition, you are like your ribbon is like this, and your menu is like this. But in from home menu to the view menu, you cannot maybe find this form tool in this all this menu. But we are going to be inserting the form menu from Excel options. So right click on the office button, go to Excel option, then click on customize part. On customize part, there is a popular commands were there. On this drop down list, select all command, and from all command click F. Here you can find the formula tab, but I have already included this form on my customize quick tool. This form is, you can take this form from here itself. Click on this form and add on your customize quick access toolbar, and click on OK. Once you are clicking on the OK button, you can see this form button on your quick access toolbar, means this one. This is what the ready-made form available in the Excel. So what we are trying to do is that now we have to use the Excel form. So how we can made this Excel form? So just click on your heading part. Our heading is from A1 to the K1, that is from serial number to the up to the rank were there. Or we have to inputting only this much of data, because the total, average, minimum, maximum that we are going to be counting with the use of various functions, which is very useful for our data analysis part. So this much of data that we have to input from serial number to the subject 3. So just click on your column heading. Once you are going to be selecting your column heading from A1 to the F1, click on the form part. Now this is what our form is prepared. So what we have to do is now we inputting our data. First name is maybe, then last name, subject 1's marks were there. New one. Like we are going to be inputting 3 to 4 students data were there. Last name. Now this is what the easiest trick how we are going to be inputting our data into the Excel. It's like that we are going to be submitting any form for any applications. Just inputting your data up to this. Now this is how our data is going to be inputting in our table with the use of form. Now it is where the other use of this form is what? When we are going to be find previous one, you can add and delete your data. Now this is a very small data. If you are having data about thousands numbers, data was in lakhs itself. As I said, you can in one sheet you can store 10,48,576 numbers of data. So how you can add and delete the data? So if you are going to be inputting this data with the use of form, you can easily find your data without any, that is what normally people are using the filters that we are discussed maybe in the earlier part of our presentation. But the most important use of this form is that you can add and delete your data. You can use the criteria also of the form criteria. You can, so with all of these criteria, you can add, delete of your heading also. So this is how the use of form for inputting our data, even to that is what, to classify and to that is what, to mining our data from the raw data. So once we are going to be inputting our data, now the some of the functions that we are going to be used for our data analysis. So I am just going to be now in with the parallel session itself, we are also try to learn to use of the macro. Okay, how we are going to be using the various macros in Excel itself. So the use of macro is what? It's delete the repetitive works if your sheet data is common. The number of heading and then number of rows were the same, and but the number of operation that you are going to be performing in Excel part is the same. Like in the research, each and every research, we are usually do the what descriptive research first. That is what we are using the median, standard deviation is common descriptive or the frequency that we are going to be found out from our data that secondary data or the primary data that we are collected. So the descriptive study is common for all the research part. So if you are having the 6 tables, or if you are having maybe one demographic variables were there, and with respect to their cross tabulation, we are having the 6 table were there. So rather than using each and every time descriptive statistics, average functions, or maybe you can use the data analysis toolpath that we are going to be discussing in the earlier part, use macros for that. For one condition to use macro is what? The number of rows, the number of heading in the table is common. If the number of data and the number of heading in the Excel is going to be mismatched, then your macro is not going to be working. So first condition to use macro is what? Okay, the data table that you are going to be, data input table that we are going to be using will be the same. So I am going to be release this file. I am going to be making the copy of this part. Move or copy, create copy. Now we are going to be rename as result sheet. Now this is what the 2 table with us, and we have to what? We have to perform the common operation on this part. So first we have to what? First we have to perform the operation that we have to perform on main table, and then we are going to be replicating this whole other tables with the use of macros. So go to on view menu. On view menu, on the right hand part corner, there is a macro over there on your ribbon part. Select record macro. Click on this. Now rename this macro. I am given this what? the PM name. You can give any shortcut key to use this macro also. And they are saying that where you want to store this macro. New workbook, this workbook, or personal macro workbook. Depending upon your requirement, you can use this, save your macros. We are going to be saving this macro in this workbook only. And press OK. Now, first here I am going to be inserting one more column where I want to use a full name. Now there is one functions where there are the various functions available. There is a mathematical functions where there are statistical functions where there the other science functions were also supported by the Excels where there. One more function that we are commonly use is a string functions. So in string function, there is a concatenate function. We are using this concatenate function to merge two strings equal to this concatenate function is used for what? We are going to be merging. We are give this space. And this is what happened there. The Kalpesh Patel is merged into the one column with the space itself. The null value that we are going to be passed up. Clear? The most important facilities given in the Excel is what? The drag and drop options. So once you are very confident that your first equation or the first function that you are going to be used, it gives you a correct output, then you have to apply that output functions to all the columns where you are required the same functions output. So what we have to do is that we are also requiring this output. We are also going to be merge this Arjun Pandey, Pinal Dave and Kiran Patel here. So what we have to do is that we are just double click on this part. And that is what our output is generated. So that is what the use of drag and drop options. Rather than copy and pasting, use drag and drop options of your Excel. Then again, what we have to do is that we have to do the total of this subject 1, subject 2, subject 3. Now the example that I took, it is a hypothetical example. You can use your maybe the data that you are going to be collected from your secondary data or the primary data. You can input it your data with the use of form, and you can use various functions which is available in the statistical tools, or the average functions, main function, minimum function, maximum functions given in the maths functions toolbars. Now on the home part, now normally what people were doing is that they are using the auto sum functions, and click OK. The other shortcut keys to do is that what? Alter plus equal to sign. The shortcut keys to do the auto sum is what? Alter and equal to sign. You have to press both, and you can sum the functions in your input tables. Now double click on this average. Now one of the most important thing in the Excel is what? That if you are doing any mistakes, the Excel gives you error. But when you are going to be tired, because it is for a human being, it is very difficult to remember all the functions. So in Excel, they are giving you what? The trick, how you can use this function. When you are going to be inputting your data, it is going to be a bold one. So depending upon this, it is what we are using the reference cell from here. E2 to G2. And double click on this. Likewise, equal to minimum. equal to max. Minimum function we are using for to find out the minimum value from the given data. Maximum function to find out the highest value from the given input data. Now here we have to find out what the rank. We are going to be finding out the rank using what? The rank function. So equal to rank. The number that we are going to be find out, it is what we are going to be referencing from here itself, where it is going to be comparing which number is, which total is going to be highest. So from this only, but it is going to be a static one. When we are going to be inputting your data, it is not going to be higher from there. So press of F4 for that. Now ascending or descending order. We want into descending order rank. And click enter. Now the highest total is Pinal Dave 256. Got first rank, 227 second rank, 216 third rank, and 168 fourth rank. Now we in our database or in our research also we are having such kind of rank. We are asking to when we are collecting the primary data from our respondent, we are going to be asking that please rank to our various brands, and we are going to be the respondent is going to be tick mark on our form. Okay, which brand he most like and which brand is least like. So from if you are having the 5 brand, the respondent giving going to tick mark on your rank part. So how you are going to be finding out that if you are filling your respondent is 100 and they are going to be filling up the data of the 100, you are having the 100 questionnaires with you, and you have to find out that which brand secure the highest rank. So at the time you can use this rank once you are going to be inputting your data, and this rank function gives you the whole idea that which brand secure the first rank. Okay, now we are just formatting our table. The one thing is very important when we are doing the data analysis. The representations is most important part. The data representation is most important part. Now that is what the functions and the normal function that we are used in this Excel sheet. Now we want to apply it. Here we are going to be stopping our macro. Our macro is stopped. Now on second sheet we are having the same data. Now we want that. Now we don't want to repeat all our hard work, the work that we are already done in our first sheet, but we want a same output in the second sheet. As we are knowing that the number of rows, the number of heading is common, the number of input data is also the common. So what we have to do is that we just select the sheet, go to macro, we have to use views macro. That is what our PM, the macro that we are already stored. We have to just run the macros. Now that is what the magic of macros. That is what our first sheet, and that is what our second sheet. Within the fraction of second, we are the Excel is analyzing our data. So our all hard work, they are also including this full name where they are the average, minimum, maximum, rank. everything. And the reference cell that we are going to be used, if you are going to be inputting your change your input, according to your input, your table is output is also changed. As by mistake we are it got 100 marks. This according to this, the rank is also changed. So that is what the wonders of using function with the use of reference cell. And the one of the important part is what? To use macros. If you are practice on the macros part, you can do the wonders when you are using the Excel for data analysis. But you have to sure that when you are using the macros, the first part, that when you are going to be recording your macros, your all output must be correct one. If your first sheet is correct, you can apply this macros in your whole sheet, whole workbook. So that is what the normal function that we are going to be using in the macros. Now, one more thing, that now if somebody gives you this whole sheet, now what we are trying to see is that how this data output is came. As data analysis, I am doing this output, but the output, your superior or your teachers or your guide is not knowing that how this output is came. So what your teachers is trying to do is that if you are going to be giving them this Excel sheet, they are clicking on this and they are saying that which equation that you are going to be used. So rather than doing this, what you have to do is that you have to just click what? Control and tilde sign. When you are using the control and tilde sign in your whole worksheet, you are seeing that which equation that we are going to be, the student is used. And according to equation, how this output is came. Now, the first question that I asked to you, that if you are going to be, if you are not doing your work with yourself, and any third party is doing work for you, and if you are confused at which equation that are going to be used, and if you want to learn that, use this one, control tilde sign. If you are going to be pressing control tilde sign, it shows all your equations used in all your worksheet. So if you are not knowing any equation, you just copy and paste that equation, and you can output. You can use that output for your future work also. So that is what the use of the Excel. Now, one more important thing in the Excel part is what? Now we are knowing that how we are going to be inputting our data, how we are going to be using formulas in the Excel. One more thing that we are normally use to display our data, we are using what? The charts to represent our data. If you are going to be seeing your seniors reports, or maybe if you are seeing any MPhil dissertation or the PhD thesis, they are going to be representing their data with the use of the charts were there. So now this is what I am using Office 2007. Now in today's date, we are currently using Office 2019 were there, and they are more user friendly with the more graphical presentations given into the Office 2019 were there. Now if you are having the Windows 10 with you, the Microsoft gives you a Office 365 free of cost for academic use. So you can also use that, and you can store your data into the live drives itself. So we want what? We want the graph of this. So in normal condition, what we are trying to do is we are clicking on this, go to insert part and click on the chart part. So what we have to do is that rather than doing this, there is one shortcut key on your keyboard. Just select your data and press Ctrl F1. Press Ctrl F1. Sorry, I give this Ctrl F1 for my to beginning of new sheet for me. But you can use Ctrl F1 if you are not giving your shortcut key for any other person. Ctrl F1 for what? Creating the charts. Clear? So click on this part. Insert. You can insert any chart for to represent your data. Now what happened that if you want to increase one more column in this chart. So normally we are not knowing that how we are going to be selecting our data. We are normally using select the data and we are going to be add and delete from here itself. Okay, which data that we have to use, which data we are not going to be using. But other trick to add the column in your data or to delete the data in your column is what? Just select your column, press Ctrl C and paste here. See, the total column is added in your charts. Clear? If you want to add average, Ctrl C, right click on your chart and paste. Now the average is also added. Understood or not? Now that is very easy. Once you are going to be inputting your chart, once you are going to be knowing that what kind of a chart is best to representing your data, then you can do the wonders with your charts to display your data towards to your the common public who is going to be understood. If you are going to be seeing your table, shown your table to the normal public, they are not going to be understood. Okay, what this table is going to be gives you the output. But if you are going to be representing your data with the use of charts, the laymen can understand also your data, and that is what the researcher tasks that you can in easy language you can convey your output towards to the readers. Understood? Now one more thing, if you want to going to be representing this, now this the chart is the size is very small. Now we want that this chart is having in the bigger size which representing in the other sheet. So just right click on your chart part, move chart, click on move chart part, click on new sheet and maybe name your chart this ABC and click OK. Okay, and from here you can add background, you can use 3D rotations. Right click on this and you can maybe do the wonders as per your requirement, as per your specification of the research. You can change the chart layout. Now if you want that now the chart is not okay, I want a bar chart here itself. So rather than going back to our data itself, selecting our data once again and insert and then click on the bar chart part. Rather than doing that, on your chart itself, select this chart, double click on this and change the chart type. Now your column chart is converted into what? The bar chart. Yeah, so this is what the power of Excel were there. If you are knowing these few normal things, how you are going to be using that, you can easily do the data analysis and prepare your report within few hours. You can add head, chart titles, and H and everything. You can add data labels. You can, here you can add the chart title also. So this is how we are going to be using the chart part. Understood or not? So maybe we are going to be using this Excel as per, at least you have to know that how you are going to be using that data, at least as a data analysis, or as a user. I have to know that what kind of output that I want. If you are knowing, if you are very clear that I am going to be requiring this kind of output, then it is very easy for us that how this output will be coming with the use of the various functions and various tools. So this is what the normal Excel function that we are going to be using, the normal chart that we are going to be preparing with the use of various function and various shortcut keys in MS Excel. Clear? Now, one more thing given in the Excel is that in normal days, what happened that we are going to be forgot that where this sheet with that we are going to be saved. We are forgot the path itself. If we want to attach something, we are going to be attaching the wrong file with to send to our teacher is that. So if you want to find that, rather than going into the save as button, then try to find out that where you are going to be saving your sheet, users, HP, desktop, and Parallel University MCOM, and that particular file you have to Parallel University Excel. But there is a one functions were available into the Excel itself. You have to just click equal to cell, and from that you have to choose what? A file name. Equal to cell, choose file name, bracket over, and press enter. Now this is what our file path, whole file path. So normally what we are trying to do is that when we are going to be representing ourselves, when we are going to be preparing our PPTs, in some of the times where the data is very big, and it is not going to be adjust your whole table into your PowerPoint slides. What we are trying to do is that we are going to be using the hyperlinks. So at the time, it is very difficult for us that what kind of a hyperlink that we are trying to give this. So to preparing our hyperlink from our Excel, this is what the shortcut method that we are going to be using. Now, if you are going to be paste this link to your Excel sheet, in PowerPoint, and convert this path into the hyperlink, it is very easy for us to representing our data. And this is what the whole path, that is what we call as in the URL in terms of the web languages. It is what we call as a whole URL. You just click on this, you can know the whole path where this sheet is going to be savedable. Understood? So
yes sir, yes sir.
I hope if you are having any doubt, you can ask me in between, because after this we are going to be starting with if the time permits, we are maybe we can at least know that how we can use the data analysis tool pack for our research part.
Yeah, sure sir, we have a sufficient time sir.
Okay, so now one more thing. Now this is what the normal mathematical function that we are going to be used for our normal data analysis. Now once you are going to be selecting all your data, if you want to prepare, if you want to confirm that, maybe on the basis of frequency, on the basis of average, you cannot say anything. But for that, at least you have to require your descriptive studies. If we want in terms, if we want to represent our data into terms of statistics one, so at least the normal expectation of any guides from the students is that at least you do these descriptive studies in your data. You can find the standard deviation, you can find mid, median, mode, you can find maybe the frequencies also. So if you are knowing all this function in MS Excel, it is very easy for us that we can find all this mid, median, mode, everything. But if you don't know anything, if you are not knowing that how we are going to be using the mean function is very easy. It is nothing but the average part. But what about standard deviation? What about the median part? What about the mode? So for that, the one important tools were given into the MS Excel. That is what we call as a data analysis tool pack. Now again, we have to insert. It is not ready-made available in your ribbon part. If you want to in the insert part, data part, I was already inserted the data analysis toolpack for my daily works. But in your normal Excel, this data analysis toolpacks, you are not seen on this right hand corner. But for that, you have to what? You have to go to Excel option once again, office button, Excel option. From that, click on add in parts. And from add in part, there is one analysis tool pack. There are the two packs were there, analysis tool pack for VBA and analysis tool pack. So we have to choose what? Data analysis tool pack. Click and press on go button. Once you are going to be clicking on go button and press OK, then what you have to do is that you have to again restart your Excel. Don't restart your computer, but just shut down your Excel once a time and again open your Excel. Once you are going to be reopen your Excel, go to data and you have to see data analysis tool pack is already included on your data part, rightmost corner. Just click on data analysis tool pack. I have to open one more data sheet for this. Now this is what the data that we have gathered for our research paper. Now one more thing you have to clear in your mind that when you are going to be inputting anything, just we are going to be seeing that we are also going to be having the equations for the string function also. But for data analysis tool pack, the data must be in numbers. If you are going to be inputting any text in your data, like if you are going to be asking somebody that please describe your gender, whether you are male, female or a transgender. So the responders are going to be tick mark on anyone. So if some responders are going to be tick mark on the male part, and you are in your data sheet also it is the male. Now the one of the most important thing is that now today we are having the apps were available to collecting our data online, like Google Forms were there, Microsoft Office, Microsoft Forms were also were there. So you can sending your link to your respondent and they are going to be inputting your data. But the Excel sheet is depending on what they are going to be inputting your data, the data that they are going to be filling by the respondent. If they are going to be clicking on the male, in your sheet on the gender part, they are going to be click on what? The gender one, male, female, male, female, male, female. But for the data analysis, for the statistical data analysis, you have to convert that male, female, your text into the numbers. So you have to just coding one that. You have to give the code numbers. Like that, I have to code my research paper that we are having the 5 companies were there. Aurobindo pharmaceutical companies, we are having Ajanta Pharma, Aurobindo Pharmaceuticals, Lupin Pharmaceuticals, Cipla Pharmaceutical companies were there. So
Hello?
we are going to be code. Yes,
Hello,
yes, sir.
sir. I think some network issue on your side. I think your voice it will be on stuck, sir.
Hello. Now it's clear.
Now it's clear, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So I am giving what we are going to be discussing that my data is like this. Number of years were there, 5 years data, the company's name were there, and there are the ratios of various companies were included. So if you are going to be collecting this data from any other external website, they gives you a data in terms of this one. So we have to code there. If you do the what we call as in the data analysis using the statistical software, you have to convert your text into what we call as in the numbers. So I just give the numbers to my years. First I give number 1 to my number 1 company. So 5 companies, 5 numbers were there. And year means this one, from 2013-14 to 2017-18. Like this there is a coding given in this. The code given by us, 1 2 3 4 5 and 1 2 3 4 5 what? This one. So when you are doing this type of coding, if you are not knowing Excel itself, you are not very much comfortable to do the analysis, statistical analysis with the use of Excel, but you are knowing the SPSS or a JAP software or a Jamovi software. So if you are do this type of coding in your Excel sheet, you can directly export your Excel sheet into the SPSS file and do your analysis with the use of statistical package for social science or the JAPS or the Jamovi software. So we are going to be converting all our text into the numbers. Now we have to do what? We have to do the descriptive studies for this. So what I have to do is that go to data, click on data analysis toolbar. Now the normal parametric and non-parametric test that we are doing is that it is started from the ANOVA single factor, ANOVA two-way factors, depending upon your objectives and hypothesis and types of variables that you are having. According to that combination itself, you have to decide that what statistical test is matched with your data. But you can do the descriptive studies on all your data. So we are doing the descriptive statistics. Press on OK. Now we want the descriptive statistics for our first company. We are taking only few ratio from current ratio to the debt equity ratios. This is what the range that we are giving. Yes, we are having the labels in the first row. We want our output in the rows. Confidence level is this. We are saying p values. It is what the 0.05. And we want our output here itself and click on OK. Now go to the home button. Give me 1 minute, please. We are just clicking on, again, go to data, select descriptive study. Descriptive studies for the whole sheet. So we are going to be what? We are taking the average of all, median, mode to all 5 companies, summary statistics, and click on OK button. Now this is what the output that we came with the use of descriptive study. What we have to do is that we are going to home is that we are just formatting our data. Right click on this part, format cell data. We want our numbers into the 2-digit all itself. And click OK. Now this is what the output where came for current ratio. the standard deviation. Now, this is what the data that came. The skewness, cutoff, simple sample variance in standard deviation, mode, median, and there is a mean also. The use of format printer is this one. Clear? So this is what the data that we are having. If you are going to be using, if you are going to be calculating all these things with the use of functions, Excel function, then it's required time taking tasks were there, where you have to understand that what is the equation of mode, what is the equation of medians were there, skewness, how you are going to be finding out this skewness, but the descriptive statistics gives you all made ready-made plate for you. And this same data, same results, if you are using the SPSS, JABS or Jamovi, you can having the same output with the use of statistical tools itself. Understood? Now I want to apply this same output using format printers to all my table. There is a quick ratio data, super quick ratio, and the fixed asset and the turnover ratios. So that is what the use of data analysis toolpath. So I am going to be stop here. If you are having any questions in your mind, you can ask me. Sorry, I'm not able to give all these use of all data analysis toolpath test like ANOVA, t-test, because it's require at least 3 to 4 hours time to understand all these tests or to run all these tests in for some data that you are having. But if you are going to be practice with this use of simple functions and simple descriptive statistic, you can definitely run all the state like regression model where there, even the z-test, t-test. So depending upon your requirement, you can perform your data with the use of data analysis toolpath. So now the floor is open for question answer.
Yes, sir. So faculty members and students, if you have any queries, so please ask to directly, sir. Sir, I need to know about the first functions like that. Just a second. Like the first, like sir, that Mahesh and Patel, how we can merge it, sir? That specific thing I need.
So that is what the sir. There is a stream functions where there in stream function there is a concatenate functions is given. This concatenate functions is what they are going to be converting your various words or various or even the alphabet into the sentence parts.
Okay.
So just click on what the equal to and write concatenate functions.
Okay. Fine.
Now the text that you want to merge one. How many
Fine.
texts that you want to one to one? So we are having the two texts where we want to merge, and with the use of two merging, we want to what the full name. So click
Fine.
on this. Now we want space, so we have to pass what null value were there. So we are passing the null value. Space Smith.
So that space required in inverted comma.
Yes.
Okay.
And click OK.
Okay, fine. And sir, we can add number of column here.
There are n number of texts. You can add n number of texts where there is. You can make whole sentence with the use of this function.
Fine. Okay. Okay. Fine. Thank you, sir. Is there any query, faculty members and students? Okay. I think yes.
Sir, mean, median, mode for it is required, sir.
Okay. So beta, this data that is we are having now, we want to find out what the mean median mode. Clear? So mean is nothing but the average of the all data that you are having, the number of observation divided by the data. So using average all the times, what we are using the descriptive statistic functions given by the data analysis toolpack. So what we have to do is that go to data, the data analysis toolpack that we are having. From that, click on descriptive statistics.
Okay.
Now we have to select the descriptive statistics from your data. So we want descriptive statistics from 4 ratio, current ratio to the deep frequency ratio. Once you are going to be inputting your range, then click on summary statistic and the confidence level 5. If you don't want that confidence level, you can just remove from your list. But if you want, just click on and your output. We want our output in this worksheet itself, this workbook itself. So your output is converted into the new sheets. Just click on OK. Go to home part. We are just adjusting our column width. Now this is what the mean median mode going to be calculated by the data analysis toolpack.
Okay.
Understood, beta?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Fine. So, is there any other doubts, students? Fine. So, sir, on behalf of the Parul University Faculty of Commerce and our Dean, sir, Dr. Ajay Trivedi, sir, on behalf of the Dean, sir, I am heartily giving thanks to you, sir. You just give to us such a very wonderful information related with an Excel and on the specific on a research topic, sir. Some of the functions I am also not aware about it, so I also learn it. And sir, if I have any doubt related with the Excel sheet in a research, so I definitely call to you. Thank
Sure.
you, sir.
So thank you one and all present over here, especially the Parul University, Ajay Trivedi sir, especially Purvi madam is also there. Thank you, madam. And the faculty member of the Commerce Department of Parul University and all my dear students. Thank you once
Fine.
again.
Thank you so much, sir.